Bonjour. You must be wondering that why do I have this puzzled face here? Well, the topic that I'm going to talk about in this lesson is what makes people feel like that. Well, most of them. Yes, les conjugaisons, the conjugations in French. Before we go any further, let me tell you one thing, that if you just understand the how it works, what are the logics behind the conjugations, and the rest of it is just learning. You just have to learn the verb forms. So before we start, let me tell you what exactly conjugations are. Let's start with English. In English, we use is mr, right? I am talking to you. You are going there. All the time. These are so frequently used. Then we say everything that I'm talking, I'm using something called verbs in there. Okay, so verbs always have a standard form which is called infinitive form, their absolute form. For example, I am going. There are two verbs in here. Am is a helping verb which is a form or a conjugation of the real verb which is be, to be. Going is a conjugation of the verb to go. Same way. So why are they changing? They are changing according to the subject of the sentence, the person that is used, and the tense. Alright, there are other variables also, but at this stage you just know that verbs remain in their absolute form and they change form as per the subject and the tense. That much should be enough. Okay, so now how do they change? There are, luckily, in for let me give you an example of English again. I uh, I need you to think of all the verbs that you may know and tell me if there is a pattern in their conjugation. Hmm? For example, I'll give you two, three verbs. Reach. What will be the past form? Reached. Hmm? Climb. Climbed. Okay, but if I say see, what will be the past form? Saw. Teach. Taught. Huh? So not every verb can be changed into past by adding ed. So those who can be changed into past by adding ed can be called regular verbs. Same way in French we have regular and irregular verbs. Okay, so in this section we will just focus on the regular verbs. Okay, so this is the logic that I was talking about. Les verbes réguliers. Okay, regular French verbs. There are irregular verbs which do not follow a fixed pattern of conjugation. Okay, now in French verbs, regular verbs have three groups. Okay, and the groups are based on their ending, which is called les terminaisons. Les terminaisons, how the verb is ending decides its conjugation. So there are three possible endings. Er ending verbs, because in this course itself you must have heard parler. Parler, je parle français. Je parle français. Donc, parler is the verb, main verb, which is ending with er and conjugated in different ways according to the different je, te, je, tu, il, elle. These are your determinants, these are your subjects, these are your pronouns which will decide what will be the form that the verb will take. Then you're talking about present tense, then present tense will have different conjugations, past tense will have different conjugations. So there are three groups: er, ir and re. Parler, venir, venir, you may want to take notes. Venir is to come. Prendre, apprendre, apprendre. Okay, And in this table, I'll provide this you in the resources as well. These are the terminaison. Now how do we do it? Okay, parler. What is the terminaison? What is the ending? Er. So we remove that er. It becomes parle. Then we add these. Why have I given you six of them? Because we have six subjects. I have purposely not written them here because you should remember them. So what you will do with je, you will add e. I'll show it to you. Don't worry. With je, you'll add e. So it becomes parle. Okay, es, e, ons with yes, nous, ez. Remember, most of 90% of the conjugations with vous will end like this, z, ez. This is for plural, il and l. Okay, we will not talk about these. I don't want to confuse you, so we'll just focus on er ending verbs for this lesson. Okay, there you go. Parler. So this is a sample that I have taken. There are many all er ending verbs will be conjugated like that. There will be exceptions. There are always exceptions, and we'll talk about them as well. Okay, let's start. So what did we do? From parler we removed the terminaison, which is er, and we added these. Okay, so it became parle. Je parle à Sophie. Okay, later you will discover that every verb either goes directly or takes this preposition a. So I talk to, in English also, for example, I said something to you. You don't say I said you. I said you is incorrect. I said to you, but I told you. So told is not taking to with it, but say is taking to with it. Same way, parler à quelqu'un. You talk to someone. Je parle à Sophie. Now, at this point, don't worry about remembering these. Just focus on the pronunciation, okay? The way I am pronouncing. Je parle, tu parles, il parle. All three pronunciation is the same. And to make your life easier, this is also pronounced parle. So no difference in the pronunciation of these four, okay? Only these two will have different pronunciation. Nous parlons à Sophie, vous parlez à Sophie. EZ is A. EZ is A. Okay? So let me read them once again. Je parle à Sophie, tu parles à Sophie, il parle à Sophie, elle parle à Sophie, on parle à Sophie. Nous parlons à Sophie, vous parlez à Sophie, il parle à Sophie. Everybody is talking to Sophie. Yes, so I put a few words. Now, what is your assignment after this? You have to find out all the er ending verbs, okay, and try to conjugate them in this. You have to make a table like this, and you have to write the conjugations and make at least one sentence. This is going to be your homework. This is how you will learn. If you don't do this, I'm sorry, you will not learn, because you have to do this. Aider, bavarder, crier, donner. Now all these verbs are ending in er. How will they be conjugated? Let me. Je donne, tu donnes, il donne, vous donnez, nous donnons, il donne. Donner is to give. Remembering er ending verbs and their conjugation in present tense, it's not that difficult. But now this is where it gets a little tricky. It's not difficult, but it's just a few things that you must keep in mind, which is exceptions. So I'm going to be talking about 3-4 cases which are very commonly used verbs, and there is slight variation in the conjugation. It follows more or less the same scheme, but there is very slight, very small changes. Now, first of all, this is jeter. Jeter. See, easy way to remember this pronunciation is je. You know already this word je, and er always pronounces as a. So jeter, to speak. Now, what is different in this conjugation that if you look at it carefully, you will see that there is double T in these four, okay, and there is single T in nous and vous. So the easy way to remember is that the spelling is different in nu and vu, and there is just one T. Spelling changes except nu and vu. All other pronouns carry double T and double T instead of T. Now let's read it together. Je jette le ballon. So I throw a ball. Tu jettes le ballon. Il jette le ballon. Il jette le ballon. So the pronunciation of all four is same. No problem there. You can easily remember it. Je jette le ballon. Tu jettes le ballon. Il jette le ballon. Et il jette le ballon. Now let's come to nous and vous. Nous jetons. Jetons. No, don't say jetons. It's jetons. Nous jetons le ballon. Vous jetez le ballon. Okay? I hope that was clear. Now, similar to this is a more important verb, appeler. If you remember the se présenter section, appeler is to call. Appeler is also to call someone, like call. And appeler is also, s'appeler is also used in telling your name. So appeler is to call. To make a phone call also, you will say, j'appelle à Archa. Huh? So, I am calling Archa. So appeler will follow the same scheme, which means double L in these four and single L in these two. Okay. Now comes another one, which is manger. Manger is to eat. Now in manger, the terminaison, la terminaison, pardon, which we use is not er but just r. So we drop just r, this e remains. Why is that so? Because that makes the pronunciation easier. Je mange une pomme, tu manges une glace. See, you're getting a lot of vocabulary also because I've put different words. Pomme is apple. Je mange une pomme, tu manges une glace. Il mange un pain. Pain, bread. Nous mangeons ensemble. We eat together. Vous mangez au restaurant. A plus le. Remember? So this is you eat at the restaurant. Ils mangent chez eux. Is them. You eat at their place. Chez, whenever chez comes in front of anything, it means that you're talking about somebody's place. Chez moi, my place. Chez toi, your place. Okay, let me read all of them together for you. Je mange une pomme. Tu manges une glace. Il mange un pain. Nous mangeons ensemble. Vous mangez au restaurant. Ils mangent chez eux. Okay, let's see what next. Now let's take a look at a few more verbs which follow the same pattern. Okay. Changer. Changer is to change. Je change mon avis. I change my opinion. Nager. Je nage tous les jours. Swim. Bouger. Bouger is to move. Okay. Another one. Nettoyer. Now, if you just take a quick look, the change is very obvious. Here you can see Y, and here you can see O. So how does this work? For nous and vous, Y is there, but for others, Y is not there, and instead it changes to I. Okay, Y changes to I. Pronouns nous and vous follow the conjugation, the same one of er ending verbs. In rest, all pronouns, instead of dropping only er, we drop yer and we replace y with I. Okay, let me read all of them for you. Je nettoie. OI, wherever in any word, when you see OI, it gives the sound of Y. Two more such verbs with slight exception that I can think of right now are commencer. Commencer is to start something, and préférer. Yes, je préfère, to prefer. So that also has slight difference in its conjugation. You will find these two words and verbs
and their conjugation in the book that you will get. All right, commencer, just note them down and remember to look it up. Commencer, préférer. Always remember 80% of the hard work is required by you. You have to learn, you have to remember, you have to practice. I'm there to explain it to you, show you the path, which is very important, but more important is that you learn and practice. Bon courage à vous et see you in the next chapter. À la prochaine. Au revoir.